This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by Jack Catterall over Zoom. Jack, how are you keeping, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. All good, enjoying this bit of sunshine we've had, and yeah, all's good. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I know you've just said you've been enjoying the sunshine. Unfortunately, as a boxer, there's no such thing as rest days. You can't really enjoy it that much.
Yeah, that's right. I've been training. As you know, Jamie and Nigel have been over in Dubai for Turson and Carl's fight. So I've had the keys to the gym. So I've been the one opening the gym up every day and locking up and make sure everyone's doing as they're supposed to be.
Now, we've obviously just had a brief chat off camera about the travels of the team coming back. Can you just enlighten everybody else of the difficulties that Jamie and Tommy and what have you have had?
Yeah, with all these restrictions and there's flights being cancelled left, right, and centre. I know they was all scheduled to fly back early Sunday morning, late Saturday night after the fight. I believe Carl managed to get home safe to his family a couple hours after the fight. He managed to get on a flight. Kerry Cage, Jamie, and Nigel, they was meant to go to Turkey, Madrid. I think they're in Turkey now. I think they might be going to London. So I know they've had a nightmare with changes of flights, etc. But rest assured, they'll be back.
I hope they are, mate. Rather than me though, having to make that journey back. But let's obviously start off with the reason they're travelling back. Obviously coming back from Dubai. Carl Frampton, campmate of yours, unfortunately unable to overcome Jamel Herring to become that freeweight world champion that he wanted to be so badly. Just kind of looking back on the fight this past weekend, Jack, what were your thoughts on it?
Disappointed for him. It's a difficult one. Been training with Carl for probably 3 or 4 years now. I got to know him quite well, and I've seen him how hard he's worked for this fight and how much he's dedicated himself to the sport of boxing. And he really had his heart set on going out there and capturing that 3-weight world title. It wasn't to be. Herring managed to get the job done. Just gutted more than anything. I know that he'll be heartbroken, but I think it was the right decision by Jamie to throw the towel in. I think the first knockdown, he wasn't fazed by it. By the second one with the uppercut, looked like he got caught flush. And he spoke about it being towards the end of his career now, and it could be the difference between taking them extra few punches after you're hurt that he doesn't need to do. He's got a lovely family at home. You've probably watched his interviews. He said boxing has been good and bad to him. I believe he's had an amazing career, so he can finally close that chapter now and go enjoy life with his family.
One thing which I do want to touch on there before we just go back over the fight a bit more is you mentioned Jamie throwing in the towel. A lot of people have, given him credit for throwing in the towel at what people deem to be the right time. Just with yourself, does that give you confidence having somebody like Jamie in your corner who is so kind of, he's got it right on this occasion. He did it with Tommy in New York. Does it give you confidence that if ever you was in that situation, he'd make that right call?
It's difficult because as a fighter, you like to think, you know what, you'll risk everything in that ring. It means everything to us. And we're probably too brave for our own good. So it does give you confidence. You'd like to think, like, fuck that, never throw the towel in for me. You never kind of picture that scenario, but ultimately, Jamie's there for the fighter. We get on a personal level, and he's looking after your health and well-being. So, I mean, if that's the call he's got to make to make sure we can get home to our families and live a normal life after boxing, then definitely I'm glad to have him in my corner.
Obviously, at the point of a stoppage, Carl was starting to take a fair few punches, getting landed on cleanly, and he was looking like he was out of it effectively. When you was watching that final round before Jamie did throw the towel in, what was you making of it?
It was just difficult, sat on the edge of the seat. Thought for the first couple of rounds, it might have took him a bit of time to get his distance. We know Herring 5 inches taller, longer reach, and I've been seeing him spar these taller fighters, and he's been closing the distance, and he's been looking well in the ring. So I did think it might take a few rounds for him to adjust, get his range, work on the inside, get out of range, take a walk. But after the third round, I kind of thought, right, needs to like show us something now. And I think it was the third or the fourth round, Herring got cut, and Carl's kind of like, he got in the pocket a few times, started to land some shots, and there were once, and I thought, you know what, after Herring's previous fight with the eye injury, etc., I thought, he might have a little advantage here. And then as the round went on, I could see Herring, he kind of upped his game a little bit at the same time then. So it was just sad to watch, really, from knowing him personally and watching how he's been performing in the gym. And you kind of, I know I do, certainly watch fights and think you want to be in there and do it for him, but what it is, I guess.
We've kind of Jamel as his opponent as well. A lot was spoken about in the build up to it. Jamel being a very big super featherweight, and it showed on the night. What did you make of the size difference?
He was tall. I mean, I fought tall fighters as well, and it's difficult. But I think more than anything, it was just beat by the better man on the night. He struggled to get in there, get in range, land his shots. The stuff that he'd been working on and the stuff that I'd seen that he can do, he just couldn't produce it on the night.
I mean, Carl, obviously, we know he's retired now. Just on that front, just for yourself and the years you've spent working with him, how valuable has the experience been for you to be able to pick the knowledge of somebody who's achieved so much in the sport?
Not just that, it's been an absolute pleasure. I mean, going away, we've done a couple of training camps away. I've watched him spar. We've spent time together. Just an all-round class fella, in and out the ring. And I think I put a post out yesterday saying the exact same things. Very funny fella, very witty, great crack in the gym. And it'd be sad not to see him in the gym. Hopefully he remains in the boxing world in some aspect and to show his face in the gym. The gym was certainly a better place when he was there, so he'll be missed.
And then just moving forward, Jack, onto yourself. Have you got any update with regards to when we could expect to see you back out yet? I know when we last spoke, you said, you might look to try and get on the Taylor Ramirez card on May 22nd if it was possible. Have you had any kind of conversations about that?
There's been nothing yet. I've been training. I've been waiting. Hopefully Jamie and Nigel will have some more news to me on their arrival back home. I'm eager to go. I've been training. I've been working, sparring. So it just lies in everybody else's hands. I'll be ready as soon as I get the phone call.
I mean, when we last spoke, once again, you said, you was kind of weighing it up. Do you go in and have a tough, risky fight, knowing that you are set up to face the winner of that undisputed bout, or do you maybe face somebody easier? Have you thought about it more so since? Have you got more of an idea in your own mind as to what you would like to do before your chance to finally fight for the world titles comes along?
I've not, I think about it all the time. Obviously, it's very important, but as a fighter, I'd love to fight again. But again, I'm in the same position. Who do you fight? Where do you fight? Do you take a tough fight? Do you take a shit fight? Don't want to have another shit fight. Not that the last one was a shit fight. He had a good record, but it's a difficult one. I think I'll have a more clear picture next week after I've spoke to my management. I mean, Carl's fight's taken place now and can kind of sit down and map out a path.
What's got you as well, Jack? I just wanted to ask you about one other fight, which I believe happens on the 17th as well. Regis Prograis, Ivan Redkach. Just your thoughts on it?
Yeah, great fight. Interested to see. Has Prograis boxed since the World Boxing Super Series?
He has, yes.
Who did he fight? Can't remember.
I know. So he was due to face Hooker, and he has fought once since. He fought.
Yeah, see that he was due to face Hooker in that fight. That fight didn't go ahead, did it? But
no, he didn't. He fought last year. Sorry, mate. I was just going to say he fought last year against Juan Heraldez.
Right. Yeah. No, interesting matchup again. He was undefeated going into the Taylor fight. He was on his game. Got beat by the better man. So it'd be interesting to see how he comes back and how his career maps out. I guess. Again, and I probably said to you in the past, these are the fights that I want now. I want to test myself against the top boys. Prograis being up there, he's in that top 10 and he's one of the fighters that I'd love to face.
All right, Jack, we will leave it there now. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening. Final word to yourself, for everybody who will continue to follow you this year. What would you like to say to them?
Yeah, just thank you for the continued support. it's been a tough time for everybody and everybody's careers, I guess. So stick with it. We can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel now. And for the people that follow me, this year we'll fight for the world title.
Jack, it's a pleasure to catch up with you as always. Stay safe, and I will speak to you again soon. Thank you for speaking to
And
me.
God bless. Thank you very much.